Unit 4. Why can't I say no? Read about it.
Monday, October 18th. Although I knew it was wrong, I said yes after a brief pause because Ryan is such a good friend. Now my decision haunts me. Ryan got such a poor grade on his science report that he would fail the course. Worried about it, he asked for mine to copy. This report is a big part of our assessment this term. If the school discovers our scheme, we could both pay a heavy penalty for cheating. When I voiced my concerns, Ryan sounded casual, and his words disappointed me. He even implied that my refusal could have profound consequences. Failing science would stir his parents' anger, and he might have to transfer to a different school in obedience to them. He said he would become lonely in a new school, and that he would finally get seriously depressed. Besides, he even confronted me with a choice of lending my report or wrecking our friendship. Finally, I couldn't help but give in to pressure from Ryan, so I told Ryan I would help him. Thursday, October 21st. I am relieved that I decided to consult my cousin Lisa about Ryan's request. She recommended a book called Emotional Blackmail, When the People in Your Life Use Fear, Obligation, and Guilt to Manipulate You. She even lent me a copy. The author clearly outlines the ways that someone uses fear, obligation, and guilt to influence other people without caring about them or their needs. 4 main types of emotional blackmailers are described in her theory: punishers, self-punishers, sufferers, and tantalizers. When I read the chapters in the book, I noticed Ryan was firstly a self-punisher who would try to make me feel guilty by talking about his possible feelings of depression due to a lonely life in a new school. He was likewise a punisher. While I was caught in the dilemma of whether to share my report, he was fueling my fears and threatening not to be my friend as a punishment to control me. Not once did Ryan think about the consequences that could stain my reputation. Lisa's guidance and perspective had made me very cautious about Ryan's request. I asked Lisa why she had read such a book. It turned out her colleague, Jessica, had been emotionally blackmailing her for many years. Jessica often got headaches, and at that time, she said that her headaches would go away if Lisa lent her a hand. Whether Lisa was willing to help Jessica or not, all she felt she could do was to take on part of Jessica's work. This noticeably slowed down the pace of Lisa's own work. Feeling overwhelmed, Lisa eventually spoke to Jessica. At first, Jessica didn't think that she had been manipulating Lisa. After reading the book, however, Jessica found she had been a sufferer. Then, her sincere apology to Lisa made their working relationship much stronger than before. Lisa said it was critical that I assert myself and express my thoughts. Friday, October 22nd. I told Ryan that we should behave with integrity and that I wouldn't cheat on the science report. Upon hearing this, Ryan stared at me in anger. He couldn't agree with my decision and insisted that I cooperate with him. He further promised that he would treat me to dinner to compensate as long as I stood by him this time. At that very moment, I was aware that he was playing the role of a tantalizer. Therefore, I told him I was not going to be imposed upon again. Ryan was struck dumb. I hope he will clean up his act in the future. Anyway, no matter what he thinks, I will stay true to myself.